Hey, how you guys doing? This is KLA Cloud the Wanderer, and I have another guest for today. Her name is Sheila.
Hey
How you
guys.
been? Good. Sheila's OCB competitor, and she's going to be an NPC competitor, NPC competitor.
Trying to next year. Yeah.
Trying to.
Yeah.
Why you say trying to?
It can be intimidating. So I did my first OCB show last
Right.
year. The rules are very strict for OCB.
Mm,
And you have to do a lying detector, and if you win, you have to do a polygraph. I mean, if you win the pro card, you have to do a polygraph. And I it was kind of like nice for me knowing that I don't have to go against other women that do any things that are could be like enhancing, like
right.
steroids, other stuff. And so, but with OCB, you can only go so far. So you make pro, and then you go to the Yorton Cup, and you win. You can win the Yorton Cup, but that's it. And eventually, I looked at MPC, and there are so many more steps with it. So I figure I'll give it a try, and so now I'm just training and trying to pretty much bulk until next year. So.
Yeah. I looked at your pictures real quick.
Hmm.
You have a nice physique. Yeah, so what you were you in figure?
Yes, figure. Yeah. So I started off. So I started last year. I think it was around June time. I contacted. I actually went on the Facebook group for bodybuilding, and I asked, if there are any good coaches around in my area. So I ended up getting in contact with actually two coaches. They work together, and they're actually really close to my house. So they came by and kind of talked to me and stuff. And I told them, I was like, I'm not in a hurry. Like, I'll just, build muscle. I know I got to build muscle and all that. Shortly after that, she was like, "Hey, let's put you in prep. You get a 16-week prep, and put you in a competition." I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I was a little in shock, a little nervous because I'm kind of the person like if someone puts like their hope into me, I was like, I don't want to let them down. So I took that very seriously. I mean, it was first prep. I wasn't used to calorie counting and all that. I didn't really know what macros were. I had to look everything up, but it turned out pretty good. It was a really small competition, so I guess that helped out too. So,
Yeah, yeah, that's it's another realm,
hmm
from it's bodybuilding is not like a mainstream sport, and
hmm
so if you don't know anything about it, it's almost like a foreign language.
oh yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
mostly why I wanted to do it was because it was a challenge for me because I get to the point I always feel like I need to be challenged a little bit. And if I don't get challenged, I kind of almost fall into a little bit of a depression. So at this point, I felt like I wasn't doing so well. And that's why I ended up looking into bodybuilding because it's everything I'm scared of or was scared of. Like, I don't like to be in a bikini. I've never had a spray tan before. I usually don't get my nails done, and I don't like being judged on stage. Um, Severe stage fright. So that was all of it together, like packed. And after I did it, I felt really good because I overcame, a big fear or several fears at once. So
So what made you want to do it? Like to just do it? Like what the heck?
kind of. There's a little trigger warning. Last uh, May of 2023, yeah, last year, I actually ended up with an ectopic pregnancy. I ended up having surgery, emergency surgery, and after that, I was really depressed, and I just couldn't get myself like out of the depression. And one day I just came across, I think I saw like a bodybuilding picture or something like that. And I just looked at it and I'm like, man, it's pretty awesome. It looks like they feel comfortable on stage. And at that point, I felt like my body betrayed me. So that's kind of what got me into it too, because I just wanted to kind of be in control of my body again, because I felt
Yeah.
like it betrayed me before. So,
Yeah. Sorry
mm,
to hear that.
yeah,
But
thank you.
yeah, you have a nice physique. I mean, yeah. What was the feeling like? Just being in competition. Like I know this was like your only competition so
Hmm.
far.
Hmm.
Like, what was it like? Like preparing for it and
Preparing for it, I was pretty nervous. I realized that I absolutely hate posing. Like, I still don't like it. I don't mind, obviously the working out, and the food intake was pretty, like, easy, I think, because I'm, I just kept on mostly eating ground turkey and chicken and steak. So it
yeah.
was like much of like a change in, my diet. And that was really easy. The last weeks were kind of hard because I did feel like the low carb diet eventually got to me. And and I saw other people eating bread and stuff, and I love eating bread. And
Mm,
I had to keep myself from eating that. And then the last week, my peak week, I got a little emotional. I remember that because the promoter kept on having me in bikini because that's what I signed up at first, but I would switch it to figure. And every time we checked, it was still in bikini. So it made me really nervous because I'm like, I don't want to go in bikini now, So we're training for figure. And I got nervous there. But towards the end, I think the day of my competition, I was pretty calm for some reason because I feel like no matter what, there's nothing I can do now. Like I did everything I could up to that point. Whatever happens, happens. So
yeah.
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 Hmm.
I went to my first show. Well, not my first show, but I went to two shows this year, and one of them was the OCD. Um, like past weeks, like a couple of weeks ago, I went to this recent one in New York City.
Hmm.
Yeah, they had the Big Apple competition, and like a small, like it was like a small college. I mean, not a small college, but the auditorium was
Hmm.
small. It was in a college, and so Long Island University. So I went there, of course I had to pay, and then I went to to the um to the competition where it's like a small auditorium, and I seen the guys perform. They was on stage, and then I seen the women on stage also. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think I left like maybe like I think wellness part of wellness, but it was okay. It was a bit inconvenience because people was passing by and stuff like that.
Yep.
But it was all right. Yeah, it
Hmm.
was decent. It was a decent show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where like where are you at? Like where they have the OCD?
Well, I went to the one in, I think it's called Ocean Springs in Mississippi. So it was
Oh,
only hours away. Um, and I mean, there were a lot of bikini competitors, but not many figure competitors, and nobody in physique, sadly. But I was told it was gonna be a smaller event, so
yeah.
that's also
It's not.
why, sorry.
Not go ahead.
That's also a
Good.
reason why I'm switching to MPC because I've heard there's more figure girls there, so we'll try it
Yeah,
out. Yes.
yeah, yeah. I'll look at some more pictures. So you was like in the Air Force?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I did 6 years and got out. Um, yeah. I did always work out though. So since I was little, I did like track and field. I played tennis. For a little bit, I was in a little shooting club before that, just the air rifles. And what else did I do? Just a bunch of like outdoor stuff. And then that was in Switzerland mostly. And then when I moved to the US, I did track and field again. And then I did CrossFit for several years. And I just I just like sports, I guess, but weightlifting was never really interesting to me before that, and I mostly did running for a long time after that, and eventually I had some back issues and stuff, and turns out weightlifting's really good for your back. Actually, once you build those muscles up, you have less of a back pain too. Because I don't know if you've seen it, but I've had like some really bad bulge discs and stuff. So um,
Yeah, I think I seen it. I would have to switch the camera
mhm.
to look at your Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear that with the back thing.
Yeah.
How are you now? Like, are you fine or?
Oh yeah, I'm doing great. It turns out that I went to a chiropractor several months ago, and I told him I was told by a doctor that I shouldn't do any weightlifting. Like I should do yoga because my back's in bad shape. And
Yeah,
the doctor was like, no, like the only thing that's been helping is building up muscle because I don't want to be on pain meds all the time, on muscle
oh,
relaxers. And so I just kept working out. And then when I went to a chiropractor, he was telling me that, um, I asked him, like, how come that I have less pain now or barely any pain? And before, when I didn't work out, I had all this pain. And he was telling me because I built the muscles up in my back and in my front, that it's kind of pushing it together, putting some pressure on my spine, helping me actually. So he told me, he told me if you don't want to be in pain for a while, you just keep going. So, oh,
okay. So I'm
okay.
gonna switch it to the camera.
All right.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm still here. So I just figured, like, since you're talking about it, what the heck? So
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna. I'm on my phone. It's more quicker on a tablet, but
Hmm.
yeah, just give a little second. Yeah.
Okay.
Did you have like do you have like people that kind of that inspire you like in the sport, like a favorite athlete or anything like that?
Favorite athlete wise, no, I don't really, but I follow some people like Chris Bumstead and Miss Olympia in figure. I follow her too.
Okay,
Uh, Other than that,
so this is
no.
your Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, little flashback to 2020 when I felt like I never able to work out again. This was
Hmm.
taken a month after I got out of the military. My back hurt for several years. Yeah, yeah. Wow. I can imagine the pain you go through.
Yeah, it was very painful. Sometimes I would have to call my husband and tell him that I'm laying on the floor and I can't move. So, and
Oh
he would have to
wow.
come home and take care of our son because he was still
Yeah.
little. And while I would have to wait to, get injections in my back, so the inflammation would go down.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 32 now.
Oh, you young. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. So I've been through like quite a few medical issues myself. So, but the thing I guess my husband told me is that I always get back up no matter, what happens. So I've been
Yeah.
through, several surgeries on my stomach. I've back issues. I've been through some mental health stuff. So, um, but, you can always get back up and keep working on yourself. And I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I do like different things. I did meditation and all that stuff, qigong exercises and stuff. I do like this spiritual practices called Falun Dafa, where I do like these 5 exercises, and I study these principles, truthfulness, compassion, forbearance, and stuff. And I've been doing it since I mean, yeah, 2006.
Okay,
So
wow,
and
long time.
yeah, and it's like one of the exercises. It kind of strength. It stretches like the energy channels from your body and stuff. I don't know. Maybe I could show it to you a little bit. You
Okay,
know. Yeah. So
that's awesome. So how long is like each session or whenever you meditate?
like 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
They got the one in you on YouTube. So probably should go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one thing I gotta start doing. I don't really do any meditating. I pray, and I guess that's kind of like a meditation for me. But
Yeah.
I, yeah, I don't really. I've tried like the Calm app before and stuff, but I feel like my mind's still racing every once in a while.
All right. Well, this is like the Hold on. Now my camera's acting up. Oh Jesus. That's why sometimes I don't really like using the phone, but
Mm-hmm.
I gotta give it a chance. I don't know why this thing acts up like this. Let me show some pictures before.
Okay.
This thing, I'm sorry, man. This phone is just Jesus.
Good.
Yeah, so I've been doing that for like since 2006 mostly. Yeah.
Awesome.
So have you like on like you during bodybuilding, have you like met like other bodybuilders that you can learn from?
Uh, well, my coaches, they both do bodybuilding.
Yeah.
So one's
Oh,
actually going to the Yorton Cup soon
yeah.
for OCB, and I think the other one she's planning on possibly competing
Oh,
next
so,
year.
now go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, so that's probably the two bodybuilders I've met before. Other than that, I can't really remember except like obviously the girls I was competing with and stuff. Yep. I think my
Yeah.
husband knows more about bodybuilding than I do.
Oh,
Just
he's a
because
bodybuilder?
my husband.
Yeah.
No, but he likes working out and he's thought about it, but he said the problem for him would be the dieting, because
Yeah.
he likes to just eat and not having to calculate or like put in on how much he ate and all that stuff. So that
Yeah.
would be the hardest part for him.
Yeah, usually the diet it's not easy, It's yeah, 'cause it's very strict and stuff, and then certain foods you gotta stay away from. I remember, I was like a vegetarian. I was trying to be a vegetarian at one point.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the only strict thing that I've ever did try to do, and I did it because of health reasons and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, like the doctor said that my cholesterol was high, and so I kind of took it upon myself to kind of take it take it to another level where I could get more healthier.
Mm-hmm.
So I would kind of read books and stuff like just like certain foods to eat. Yeah. So, but I can't really say I did it great, but but it seemed like it was helping because my cholesterol was going down. But the
Mm-hmm.
thing was, like, I was real skinny,
Yeah.
and so everybody was telling me that.
Yeah, I think
But
that's one thing they always say. Like, I listen to Mind Pump. I don't know if you heard of the podcast. And they say like a lot of times, like just make like small changes, because if you just come in and start, changing everything around, you can get discouraged pretty quick. But if you're just telling yourself one day, hey, today I'm going to drink so much water, that's a lot more water than I usually drink, and then, start off there, and then eventually it becomes a habit. And then
yeah,
you can go to the next step of like, maybe change around your diet and other things.
yeah, I didn't really have a coach at the time, So I would say I was my own coach. 'Cause, you know,
Yeah.
yeah. So I had the books. I went to the library. I would try, and at the time, I wasn't using too much of internet like that.
Mhm.
So I would just read, like books about health, and I also did yoga too, also,
Mhm.
but you know, but I did it for like certain amount of periods of time, and then I started doing like exercises, like qigong exercises and stuff, where it kind
Yep.
of stretches the certain energy channels and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
there was this one thing that I could show you real quick. Is this is exercise one of the exercise. So basically, this is like opening the energy channels and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you do it like 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's other exercises. I don't want to take too much of your time about it.
Yeah.
And, this is like the second exercise. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit, but yeah, this is like the standing.
Okay.
Yeah, you stay there like it's a standing exercise with 4 positions.
Mhm.
So, then this position, and you stay there really like for each position. You stay there for like 7 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's ways that you can extend it.
Mhm.
You can extend it for like more, but like for like a beginner, you know, it maybe you need to stay for like 7 minutes because
Okay.
it gets real intense with your arms. Yeah, and so this one exercise, it's like the cosmic energy. I can't like break it down to you, but it purifies your body.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, you do it 9 times, like the movement, and so this other one,
Mhm.
you do this like about 9 times, 3 sets of it,
Okay.
and you know, okay. Okay, this is the meditation part. It's gonna move. This is the meditation part. And so you can stay there for like 30 minutes, and
Mhm.
you can do an hour. Um,
The music's pretty relaxing too.
yeah, yeah. Then like for women, like with the females, they start with the right, like the hand movements,
Okay.
and the men start with the left. So
Mhm.
yeah, and then they go to like a tranquil state. You can't think of anything. Your face, you have. It's important that your face be like a serene expression. They
Mhm.
tell you that. Yeah. Then anytime you wanna, not to don't. Oh yeah, when you're in this position, like the tranquil.
Hmm.
not to think of anything, you know. So yeah, yeah. So that was it. So yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty cool though. It looks like it'll help a lot.
yeah, yeah. So what's the plan for the plan for this year is like going to the MPC.
Yes, so I've been trying to see the schedule for next year for NPC for the competitions because I like to stay kind of local. I don't like to travel too much. So if I find something that's close, that's best. So I would like to stay within Florida or like maybe go to Alabama, but not further than that. So
Uh-huh.
um, uh, hopefully, they'll come out with the new schedule soon because I think this year they had one they had several in Florida, but one fairly close to my town. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, we have a guest. We have all the way George Page. Hello, George. How you- George, he does he interviews female bodybuilders also. He
Oh,
he says
oh
how
yeah.
about Georgia?
How
He's
about you?
about the show.
Maybe. I mean, if I hear about enough bigger girls there, maybe.
Have you ever attended like a show like just without competing?
Actually, no, no. I'm
No.
planning on, but I ended up going straight into prep, and my husband's in the military, and he ended up having to go somewhere for um a few months. So like all of a sudden, and it was just me and my son, and I ended up not going anywhere. Like I didn't watch any shows, and I'm kind of like the person that I'm kind of, I don't know, I just go straight in sometimes, and I probably could have done more research about bodybuilding, but I didn't because I was just like, yep, I'm doing it no matter what. And at the same time, I probably would have kind of freaked out if I would have seen the show before that
Mm.
because, seeing the judges there, judging the girls on the stage and all that.
Did,
And probably best I didn't see it beforehand.
did you get intimidated by the judges when they placed you?
uh, yeah. Yeah, anytime like someone's judging me, like I'm a little perfectionist, and I guess I also a little OCD. So if I know like I'm being almost like graded on something, like I want to be the best I can be, and so just seeing judges kind of would make me nervous.
Yeah.
um so I'm glad I just went ahead. And I mean, when I did my competition, it helped that I had my two coaches there with me, and they helped me out a lot. One of my coaches actually did my hair for me, um, and they gave me like pep talks and stuff. And after a while, I kind of got into more like the competitive spirit, and really got into it, and ended up doing like I think like three walks onto the stage because one was like novice, and then there's another one, and then there's an overall. So I think by the third walk onto the stage, I got a little bit more confident, I guess, a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah. So your coach is one. They're both guys or just like a girl or a guy?
They're both girls.
Oh,
um,
okay,
they're
okay.
best friends too. Well, they're best friends, and they both started, I guess, bodybuilding around the same time, I think. But they're really awesome people, and they were when they told me, they're gonna be there, I was really excited because I had no clue what was going on backstage, and I had no clue what to do with spray tans. And there's another story. They got my spray tan the night before, and the next morning I showed up, and I guess I was too light still. and so I had to get another coat of spray tan right before I went on stage. So
What place what placement that you had on this show, the OCD? I forgot. I don't know if you mentioned.
well, it was really easy because the first two, it was just me on stage. There was no other figure girl, and then there was an overall, which there was another lady there, and
Yeah,
it was just her and myself. So I made first place on all three of them, but the first two were a given. So that was a little sad, because I was hoping there would be more girls there,
yeah,
especially considering how much money you spend on, the suit, the spray tan, the makeup, and usually, you get your hair done too, and you got to get your nails done. There's a lot of
yeah.
pressure of getting all that done. So you hope there's like a lot of competition there, so you can kind of compare yourself to other girls.
Yeah, I understand because even when I was in the show, I think like there were like the same people in the same like division, like with the figure, like just three people.
Hmm.
It wasn't a lot of people there that like on stage like that. Yeah, so I understand what you're saying, making that transition from the OPC to the OCB, sorry, to the MPC. I
Hmm.
got so
And then another thing too, I guess it was, you know, you also got to consider the time of the year, because a lot of people, they don't want to diet or go into prep or be in prep around like the holiday time. That was like right after Thanksgiving. So people don't want to be in prep during Thanksgiving.
oh, I can imagine they'd be
Yeah,
hungry,
yeah,
tempted and stuff, want to eat turkey and
yeah. I still got to eat my Thanksgiving meal, thankfully. I
yeah,
actually got two refeeds that week, so that was nice.
yeah, that's cool. Well,
Mhm.
he got all the way to George Page. Where is she in Florida?
In Fort Walton area.
Okay. And then he said, check out the Daytona Bowl or the Atlanta Colts.
Okay, will do.
And Anthony C. What was her favorite part of the show?
Who
And
favorite part of the show? Um, Definitely not the T walk, because that was the one I was most nervous about. So, it was probably just finally making it on stage without tripping, because I was worried about having high heels on and walking onto stage.
mm,
And then the walking off again, because I knew, like, I did the best I could do on stage, and with the posing and stuff, and my coach was yelling at me the whole time what I needed to do better or what I needed to do. So walking off felt pretty good, because that's just kind of like when you're like, like I did it. I feel like I didn't mess up so much for the first show.
how far do you see yourself competing? I don't know if it's early for me to ask you that.
I want to go as high as I can with, pro level. I told my husband, um, I'm gonna have to be eating a lot. I'm gonna have to, bulk and stuff. And he was like, if that's what I want to do, go ahead. I want to stay in figure though. I don't want to go physique, because I've had one of the judges tell me, my feedback was that if I keep working out that way, I'm borderline in physique when it comes to OCB. I guess,
Mm,
yeah, they're the standards. So hopefully, I'll be good for NPC to still stay in figure.
mm. What did she learn from this show that she can improve on for her next show? That's a good question.
Oh yeah. I was told, well, for OCB, I was told I had striations, and they didn't want to see striations. And I was also told I need to build my lats more. So I've been working on that. I think they've gotten bigger, hopefully. So because most of my clothes don't fit me, so I hope it's not just all the fat I've gained through bulking, but also some lat improvement.
Yeah. What's your favorite workout that you like doing? Like on in your body part that you like working out on?
Favorite body part to work out. Um, that's hard. Probably like just like shoulders.
No, okay.
There's
Like when
tricep.
you first started with when you first started, what results did you see like did you see something that was like, wow, I noticed something. I noticed like this certain body part is getting bigger.
Definitely my arms. I think my arms get bigger quicker than anything else. Um, the last thing, I think the thing or the parts that build up slowest is probably my legs. Um,
Okay.
and the funny thing is, I used to love leg day because when I used to do workouts by myself, I just did whatever I wanted to do that day. So I would just do like, some deadlifts and some squats all at once, and I would feel good. And now I hate leg day, absolutely hate it. So
Yeah, I've heard a lot of bodybuilders don't like that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah.
it kind of got ruined by my coaches too. So
Like what you mean? Like they be like putting like real emphasis on certain things.
yeah, so up until a few weeks ago, they had me on two leg days a week, and for some reason, every time like I started, leg day, I was like, oh man, again, like I feel like I just did it the day before, it would just feel like I always had leg day, and they have like the workouts pretty brutal, like, and
And they're
usually,
women, and it's
yeah, they're rough. They're rough. And and it'll be like 3 sets of 12, uh and then oh, or it'll be like 3 sets of eights, as heavy as I can go, and all that stuff. And then it'll be like do back squats as heavy as you can go, and then the next part will be like hip thrusters, and then it will be like 4 sets of 10, and that's a lot. And then,
yeah,
but like the last set, I'm usually contemplating my life. I'm like, I don't want to do this, but gotta keep going. Usually, I drink my BCAA mix and creatine mix and the beta alanine. I mix it all together and I sip on that, which kind of keeps me going.
mm, mm. All the rage go trade. Yeah, that's the problem with bodybuilding. It can be expensive.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
you
that.
did all that. I was about to say like you bought all that like the suit and just to go on stage and there wasn't enough people there. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what I like. I know some people, get sponsors and stuff, and but it's not that easy to just be like, "Hey, I did my first show. I need sponsors now to, keep going or to go to the next show." Because I mean, you also pay, to there's usually a membership fee you have to pay, and then you
yeah,
also have to register, and then if you want to do like another division, you have to pay extra for that too. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I heard like for the IFBB pros, they have to like they have to like don't quote me on it, but they have to pay to get their pro card or pay for another show also.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, and I even heard like someone I saw an interview of one of the female bodybuilders, and I think she won Miss Olympia or the Arnold's. But I think she said she only won like $10,000, and
yeah,
honestly, that's I don't want to sound like crazy, but that's not much considering how much time you get up early, you work
yeah,
out for a long time, and then when you're in prep, you have to do a lot of cardio on top. Um, you get all the supplements and all the other stuff you have to add to it. That's just kind of paying for, what you've already spent on it.
Yeah, that's the heartaches and pains of it. This gentleman, all of age George Page, he talks about this in his interviews. He has like a show called Muscle Talk Monday where he talks about he discuss about things like that. How a lot of you women, especially in the women, like what it doesn't matter what division that you guys don't really get that much money like the men do. The
Mhm.
men they'll probably get like maybe more
Mhm.
than what you guys get. So and then I've seen it for myself that that like the audience go crazy for the men for some reason. But that's in all sports. But I seen it like like people taking pictures of the guys. I seen it in an OCD show, like
Mhm.
they're taking pictures of the guys. And then when the women come, they have like a rough start. Like nobody don't really say too much, and so
Mhm.
the commentator he was saying that hey man, once you guys got to support these women, you want y'all to cheer for them and stuff like that, and so they eventually do, but
Mhm.
it takes a while for them to do that. So
Yeah.
that
I always
energy is not
wondered
there for the
if it
women.
was.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, that's all I wanted to say. That the energy is not there for the women like it is for the men.
I always kind of wondered if it's maybe because like the guys might feel weird, cheering for women or something. Maybe they feel like because when I first started bodybuilding, I even asked my coaches about it and if I should even bring my son to my show because I wasn't sure what to expect and what I've seen in bikini. Um, Sometimes like I would see pictures, and for me, it almost kind of looked sexual, but not from the stage pictures, but from like other things they posted on their Instagram and stuff. So I was
Right.
never because I never saw a show before. I was like, how's it gonna look? And should I bring my son because I don't want to have him like look at something and it might be more sexual. But they told me they're like, no, like there's nothing sexual, it's all straight, like it's professional, just when you go there they were like, you'll see it'll be more like, there's judges there and they're on stage. It's nothing sexual about it. But there might be some guys there that are like, should I clap for those girls on the stage, or what should I do? Or maybe they're like a little more timid. I don't know.
No, I mean there's women too. There were women like there were women too also. I mean they had that same energy. They was even recording the guys like the male
Oh,
bodybuilders.
mm-hmm.
So I mean, but they were upper. But I don't know. It took a while for people to just kind of you know give that energy to cheering for the women. I got some pictures I could show you. When was
Mm-hmm.
her last OCB show? Last year, right?
Yeah, 2nd of December of 2023. I
Yeah.
still remember that.
Who inspires you, Sheila?
I don't really have like a bodybuilder that inspires me. It's more like my grandpa that inspires me. He used to be a gymnast. He worked hard his whole life. He worked on the railroad tracks. He actually retired from there, and he's not. He just turned 90, and he's still going. Like he's got his own garden. He still does a senior. He leads senior workouts. He goes to like classes. Like he teaches like, I guess you call it water aquatics. Aquatics. Sorry, my accent comes out every once in a while. So he does all of that, and one thing I learned from him, you got to keep moving. If you slow down, that's the hard part. You're just gonna, stop eventually. Uh, some girls. From the Big Apple from the show you went to. Can you still hear me? Oh, I think we lost him, guys. No, that looks like physique.
There's some weird stuff going on over here.
Ah, now I can hear you again. Can you hear me? That looks. Yeah, that's figure right there.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you again. I couldn't hear you for a
Okay. All right. I'm
while.
sorry about that. Yeah.
It's okay. I did a water break during that time, so you're good.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what I took like the pictures and stuff. Yeah. So that's my first experience on OCD. Then I went to the New York Pro, and it was more wider. It had more competitors. I went there late,
Mhm.
and so yeah, I was there for the men and the women's bikini.
Yep.
So yeah, so yeah, I mean, but like with I noticed like with the bikinis, people kind of left, like majority of people left, but
Uh,
there was people that stayed, and yeah,
mhm.
so yeah, I just wanted to see, have like experience of going to a show, because
Mhm.
people like at times they was like, hey, maybe you need to go to a show, because just to even understand the sport,
Mhm. Yep.
yeah, so.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool because someone said turn your camera on.
Nah, because the reason why, because it's gonna start blacking out. That's why I kind
Uh,
of leave it like that, because it'll kind of like because I'm on my phone. Like if I was on my tablet, I probably wouldn't have a problem with it. I
yep.
don't know if he wants to see my handsome face, but you know, but I could, yeah, I don't want to go through that headache and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I could say like, good luck to you, on your journey, like with the
Thank,
the NPC,
thank you. Yeah, I'm excited. I got a little ways to go, so I'm actually doing a little mini cut right now, just to see where I'm at, and just because I told my coach that we got to figure something out because I can't fit in like half of my clothes anymore. So I told
Yeah.
him I need to go into a cut now.
Wow. Well, like what are who like what are your coaches' names?
Chastity and Ashley.
Oh, they competed also, or
Yes, Chastity is competing in OCB. She's a bikini, and she's going to the Yorton Cup this year. She actually did go to the Yorton Cup last year as well. And Ashley, she's done some OCB competitions, and I think she might be switching to NPC. So
oh,
I
they
think she.
now I was gonna ask like do like with the posing like Cassidy helps you with the posing or
Uh, well, they both do bikini, so they actually don't know much about figure, so they ended up getting some help from some friends that have done figure before,
Yeah,
to help me out. And then yeah, I gotta learn the side poses from NPC because it's a little bit different than OCB, but I haven't started that yet. So
yeah.
I'm a procrastinator when it comes to posing. So it'll probably be like when I'm in prep that I'll have to. Well, then when I'll start learning it, I guess.
Yeah. Anthony, see, what category will you compete in next? She said figure.
Yep, still planning on staying in figure. I've looked at physique before, but just because I don't like walking in heels. But I'd rather stay in figure for now because yeah, I don't like leg day so much anymore either.
I,
So
out of curiosity, do you like look at like old like bodybuilder videos like like people like in the 80s or 90s or even like recent times to just have an idea of what the posing, whether it's
uh,
figure
I
or
no, actually, I barely look at bodybuilding stuff. I mean, I follow bodybuilders on Instagram, but I haven't really looked into like past bodybuilders and stuff.
research, research.
Oh, I can see something. Sharonica Henton, she's an IFBB physique pro and posing coach. Oh, nice. If I ever
Yeah,
want to go physique, I'll look her up. I'll try
yeah,
to stay figure for now.
yeah. Yeah, I was watching this movie. It's called Pumping Iron 2. It was like in the 80s and 90s. And certain things that I noticed like in the women, like certain things back then it still happens now, with the look and all that stuff. But they just didn't have figure or women's physique and stuff. She does figure too, he said. Maybe I could show you a little bit of it.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice. Okay, I'll look her up.
Yeah,
If she has an Instagram, I'll look her up later after the interview.
yeah. Hold on. I'm still here. I'm just tuning in. Okay.
Yeah, my husband he started watching some kind of documentary a few days ago, and it was about bigorexia. Never even heard of that before.
Yeah.
Um, it was pretty interesting.
Well,
Okay.
this is the movie a little bit. So I'll fast forward a little bit for you. I was looking at this not too long ago. She
Mhm.
won the competition at that time.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, this is Rachel McLish. She did movies and stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, like they almost looked at like you a little. She almost looked like you a bit, like inside.
Oh,
I need to
golden
watch
dump.
this again
Pretty
though.
sweet.
Huh?
That's pretty sweet. You get some golden dumbbells.
Yeah.
Wow.
You ever heard of her?
And that was in the 80s?
Yeah, this came out like in '85.
Oh,
No,
wow.
really, it was in '83. But I
Okay.
guess it came out in '85.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if you seen I don't know if you seen Pumping Iron 1 with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, I'm gonna
No?
have to watch it now.
Yeah. Yeah, but her, she was Rachel McLish. She was 27 at the time, and she
Yeah.
was like she was a big deal in women's bodybuilding.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, they weren't that big as you see. They was like about your size.
Hmm. Yeah. So that would be almost like bikini now in DC, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't want to put it too much on, but
Yeah.
he said what he said. She was the first Miss Olympia. Yeah,
Oh,
she was.
wow.
Yeah,
Now it changed completely. I mean, was she bikini figure or did they
no,
even have
they
back
didn't
then?
have they didn't have bikini and figure at the time. It was just women's bodybuilding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he
Now
said
they have big.
Anthony Steve he asks, how did the support from your husband help in preparation for the show? That's a good
Oh,
question, Anthony. Yeah.
uh, a lot. Because I've heard some girls talk about how, their husbands don't support them because they think like, the girl's losing weight too quick, or like, you eventually get that prep phase where you just you have white hair and your cheeks are sunken in and stuff like that. But he supported me through all of that, and he was kind of giving me like pep talks and stuff. And there was a few times where I texted him because I have a garage gym, so I don't actually go to the gym unless I have to use a stairmaster. And for that, I have Planet Fitness because that's all I do at Planet Fitness. Going to stairmaster when I go into prep, and I would text him and I'm like, man, like I'm exhausted. Like I don't want, like it's taking me forever to get this workout done. And he's like, you got this, just keep going. And, you know, he usually
Yeah.
reminds me of all the things I've already accomplished because he's like, that's nothing compared to what you've done. So
Yeah.
it's,
That's
it
cool.
goes a long way. That's definitely having that support system is important for me.
Yeah, because I mean, you're doing it by yourself. Like it from what I understand, it's a selfish sport. You know, yeah,
Yep.
it's mostly it's a mind thing also.
Oh,
So
definitely. He has no problems calling me out too. Like, um, I would say I try to stick to, my plan, but every once in a while I'm like, oh man, like I just need a piece of chocolate because I know like one piece of chocolate for like my first competition is not gonna kill me. It's not gonna make me gain 5 pounds or whatever. There's girls freaking out like, oh, I actually ate this many more calories and stuff, and I feel like your body changes every day. You move differently. Like, today I didn't move as much as I usually do. And I'm not worried about it. I'll just, try to stick to the plan. But if I go over a little bit, it's not that big of a deal. Maybe if I ever go pro or higher, it might be a little different. I might change my mindset. But until then, I'm kind of trying to be more relaxed about it because otherwise you'll just stress about another thing.
yeah, what's your favorite food? Like,
Favorite food, I would say pho, the Vietnamese soup.
oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
I
never
love that.
heard of that. What
Oh,
what's in it?
what's in it?
Yeah.
It's bone broth, and well, the one I get usually has brisket in it, and then it's got noodles, and you can put some sprouts in there, and there's some other like herbs that you can throw in, and it's all like fresh stuff, and it's amazing.
Hmm.
Yeah, try it out. It's delicious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not in the sport, but I know
Mm.
it's more. It's like it's a discipline that I don't think I would ever do. It's, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really,
I definitely I've gotten some backlash about it too, especially from my family side because growing up like we're my sisters and I have more like of an athletic build, and it was always like that. So usually when we would get too muscular, my mom would usually tell us to lay off on our workouts a little bit because it
Yeah.
just was. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying yeah. Like no, I was just saying like I was surprised. Like yeah, she would do that. She
Yeah,
would tell you
because
not to.
yeah,
Uh,
because it was just like, I guess she always, I guess growing up for her was like girls are not supposed to be too muscular, which
yeah.
she just thought she was doing us a favor, making sure we're not getting too muscular. But um, and I think I that kind of made me feel a certain way growing up, because I was like, well, like I built my arm muscles up a little faster than others, and there's a little bit more definition. And but now it's like I found a sport that's actually great for building up muscle, and that's awesome finding something like that. But they definitely didn't understand, especially like my parents, when I told them I was gonna do bodybuilding, or I signed up for competition, because it's definitely, my mom's not competitive, and she doesn't really do sports, and so she was just worried, mostly because she thought of is like obsessive, like dieting and constantly
Yeah.
working out, and uh, steroids involved. Probably just like the worst part of bodybuilding is what she saw. But for me, it was kind of just like a way of like challenging myself. And I'm not like, if I'm not in prep, I don't feel like I'm like seriously thinking about, oh man, like what did I eat today and all that stuff. I just kind of let it go. And I think that's probably the healthiest way when you're out of prep to think that way, because I know there's women that can actually get an eating disorder, but maybe there's been some women that said they had eating disorders before they even start bodybuilding, so that can kind of just enforce it if don't see a therapist about it and actually work on yourself.
There's always the debut to maintain femininity as a woman in bodybuilding. Yeah, I mean, there's like to me, for me, like I mean, there's women that are very attractive, they're aesthetic beautiful, aesthetic pleasing.
Hmm.
Excuse my vocabulary, but there's ones that may not be so aesthetic pleasing like that. So I kind of understand like your mother's fears because bodybuilding it ain't really like a sport that an abrasive sport like that. You know where especially for women that
Hmm.
people kind of society they don't really they kind of don't care and they kind of like they frown upon it with seeing a woman with muscles. Not it's
Hmm.
not everybody, but it's a lot of people because I've witnessed that. Like let's say I would draw like women bodybuilders and stuff, and I would see people's reactions to it. Just doing that. People they give you these looks, these upside
Hmm.
down these upside down smiles. I
Hmm.
call it. And so it can be challenging for like even for a person that likes it. You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
go ahead.
yeah. I
You was
mean,
gonna say
I can.
something? Oh,
Yeah. I mean, I can show you like I'll definitely. I'll never look at steroids just because I've seen the health benefits of bodybuilding for
right.
me. I'm healthier. My back's not hurting anymore. Um, all the good stuff. Like I've been sick a lot less. And I'll definitely stick to that. But I've had people ask me if I'll ever consider steroids, and I don't want to do it because like I appreciate the health I got. Why would I give it up for that? I'll just have to work harder, to get to that point to where I can gain more muscle. But if it gets to the point where I would have to, I probably would just stick. I want to stick to natural.
Yeah, more use of pads and voids in mainstream sports. Yeah, yeah. He usually points that out. And how you been watching TV or a movie and saw a bodybuilder and get excited?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of any that I was like, yeah, that's awesome. Movie wise, honestly, I just watched like Terminator. I think like I watched all the Terminators, but um, recently rewatched it just because I like watching Terminator, and that's one of the bodybuilders, Arnold Schwarzenegger did. I know, following Chris Bumstead, but he's not in movies, so I can't really think of any more. Um,
What drew you to Chris Bumstead? Because this bodybuilder had told me about him. I didn't know about Chris Bumstead until this
oh,
bodybuilder had.
I just think it's hilarious because he so he's got a little speech impediment. He's got a lisp, and he
Mm,
uses it for his like own good. Instead of like letting, sometimes obviously if you have any issues, people are, bullies tend to make fun of it, but he's
right.
like he made a line of it with raw, and it's like his own like protein and stuff, and he calls it athlete. And another one, instead of savage, he calls it thavage, and
Mm,
I think it's a pre-workout or something. But my husband actually uses Chris Bumstead's protein, and he loves it. But I guess I just like the idea that he knows he has a lisp, and he's like, you know what? I'm making my protein different. I'm calling it, instead of isolate, I'm going to call it an isolate. And he's, making money out of it. He's marketing it well and stuff, and it's awesome.
I didn't know he had a speech impediment. I just know that he's like a good bodybuilder. You know,
Yeah,
people talk highly of him.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I just came across because my husband would talk about him a lot,
Yeah,
and eventually I was just follow him on Instagram, and he's got motivational like videos like a lot of people do. Him working out and stuff. And, yeah, it's
yeah.
helpful too. And then um no, I guess maybe I should pay more attention when I watch TV and if there's any bodybuilders in it. I know some wrestlers that I've seen in some movies, but that's it.
Well, I can show you real quick the the rest a little something with this. So this is done in competition and stuff. Okay, let me see. I'll fast forward a little bit. When they in, if you was in them days, would you compete?
I'm sorry.
Nah, I said if you was in them days, would you want to compete like big
If I
as
would
they
want to
are?
compete
Like
with,
yeah, in those days, like let's say like if you was able to if you had the opportunity to compete in those days, would you want to compete like the way how they look?
I mean, I will probably try it out. Just yeah. I mean, that looks hard. That's physique. Well, no, never mind because they only had like one division, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll probably try it out.
yeah. This lady right here,
Looks
she,
a little different.
huh? You see that lady on? Let me show
Yeah.
you. You no, let me see. Well, let me go fast forward. Let me go. Okay. You ever heard of Beth Francis? This is Beth Francis.
No, never.
Yeah, she was like at that time she was like frowned upon as a bodybuilder because she she was like they looked at her like an extreme like for the sport like
Oh.
yeah, so this is she meets up with the coaches and stuff. Let me show
Mm-hmm.
you. Let me see. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is her. Yeah, she's coming up next. So, see this lady right there. She
Mm-hmm.
was disgusted with her. She didn't she didn't really approve of her at that time.
Oh
She
wow.
thought it was too masculine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's doing this performance, and so she got placed. Everybody they the crowd was cheering for her, but she got
Mm-hmm.
eighth place. Where she
Oh really?
probably yeah they put her all the way to eighth place.
She looks like she was in great shape. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's like their coaches cheering for her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that must be pretty upsetting working out so hard and everything just to be told it's looking too masculine.
Yeah, she's like a gym owner now. I think.
Wow.
And she, I mean, like if today she would look like maybe a physique competitor.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's crazy. They had to do this whole thing of going down the stairs and
yeah,
doing some dance moves.
I mean, she did look kind of masculine a bit, like,
Mhm.
but she wasn't my cup of tea a bit. You know,
Yeah,
I I,
and
I like Corey Everson, and
I
but
don't know if they had like the standards written down too back then, or because OCB and NPC like how they want figure girls to look, a bikini or like physique. It's different. On mine, like later on after the judge said, no striations next time. I'm like, what do you mean striations? Like, I always thought striations are good, and
yeah,
ended up looking on the OCB side, and it did say like, no visible striations.
yeah. I
So,
noticed. Uh, I noticed that they don't have bodybuilding though, like bodybuilding division there. Yeah. They just have like I don't know if it's like they don't want them to be too extreme, but I noticed they have women's physique, wellness and
hmm
bikini and figure, but they don't have uh a bodybuilding division for women.
Yeah,
So
well, OCB, it would be like just the physique would be probably the
yeah,
closest you can get to like completely uh,
mm,
bodybuilder. And I honestly haven't looked on like how extreme you can go in that
mm,
because yeah, I was kind of surprised because it's one thing like to build up muscle and then going into prep, and then when you're in prep you're like, man, I gotta make sure my muscles are showing, like I don't want to have too much fat on me. And then you go up there and then it's kind of crazy. I mean, there's other athletes that have been told that too before, but they've had not enough body fat. Being told that
mm,
is kind of crazy because you're like, what do
yeah,
you mean? Like, I've been working out, I've been um and doing cardio nonstop, and now I have not enough fat on me.
mm. Anthony C. He says he asks if you could, what category would you do that you haven't done?
um Probably I would probably stick to figure, honestly. I mean, like I said, I looked at physique probably, um but I just don't want to do that. um if I could dabble in it just to see how the posing goes and stuff, I might try that. But I've looked at the posing and they have like way more poses than figures, and it already took me a while to figure out the figure posing. So
Yeah. Mental Rage George Page, he says they have to be both athletes and entertainers. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, they, yeah, they have to kind of move the crowd a bit. That's my term, but the term I could use. They have to be, yeah, they have to be entertainers and athletes at the same
yeah.
time. That's well put said. Yeah,
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 and that's one thing for me, like the even like the transitions between, like from the front post to the side post and stuff. You gotta make it look a little more flawless. I'm definitely working on that because I'm like, I was like, man, I'm up here, trying to show my muscles. Why do I have to like do a smooth transition, move my hands a certain way and stuff? I just want to, show my side pose, my back
yeah,
pose, my other side pose.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
you know, there's definitely, you know, it looks a lot smoother, if you work on your transitions. But at the same time, I'm like, man, I just want to show my work. And I
Yeah.
think that's the hard part for me sometimes.
Do you look at yourself like a artist? Because some people say that bodybuilding is an art form.
Yeah, I try to like, uh, I try to almost like make a kind of like a different character. It's almost like a split, like I'm like, okay, nah, I gotta be someone else, or be like the confident person on stage. So when I practice, I try to remember that, because at first, I mean, the first time I put high heels on and went in front of my coach and I tried to do the poses, like she was laughing so hard. Like I looked like a baby deer walking up and trying to do my poses. So I was like, oh, this is not gonna be good.
Do you walk on heels? I mean, do you like practice walking on heels? Yeah, you told me like you're not really like a makeup girl like that. Like you don't like you don't dress makeup too much. You don't like walk in heels or just practice or anything like that.
um, I mean, I was told to just wear heels, and when I'm like walking around the house and stuff, so I started doing that. I just even had to look up a video on how to walk in heels. But when I was first looking at that, I was just looking at how to normally walk in heels. But apparently, there's a difference between bodybuilding walking in heels and regular walking in heels. And when I first started, like I said, I was trying to go into bikini, then was told I need to do figure like 2 weeks into my training, because I guess my upper body muscles, build up pretty quick. And when they told me about the bikini walk, I was like, "There's no way I can walk like this," because they were like, "You literally kind of have to walk kind of like a duck walk,
Yeah,
like it." And I was like, "Man, this is gonna hurt my back at this point." And then when they told me I was figure, I was like, I kind of almost got a little bit of more of a leeway of walking. So I felt like I couldn't do the bikini walk.
yeah, yeah. I guess you had to find your niche. You know, when you first walked on stage, what did you think about, or what came to your mind?
Oh, that's a good question. I think I kind of looked at the judges quite a bit because I was told, look at the judges, and then I was just trying to find out where I have to walk. So I looked on the floor quite a bit, making sure I'm going to the right spot. And after that, my mind kind of went blank because I was just like hearing, they would be like, face to front, you do your front pose, and then switch to the right, and I would hear my coach yelling out whenever I wasn't like spreading my lats and all that. So um, she did a really good job of being the loudest person at that event. So
If she's a bikini competitor, like wow, she be training you hard like that.
yeah,
Wow, that's crazy. They both are bikini competitors, and they train you hard like that.
yep,
Wow, that's crazy.
yep,
All
yeah.
of those page, I know women who walk in heels on a treadmill. Yeah, I think I interviewed somebody that actually done that. Like they walked in treadmills. Yeah, yeah.
Wow,
Like I think she's an OCB competitor also.
yeah.
Yeah, she told me about the show that I was in. Well, not in, but like that I was, yeah, well, I was watching in this.
Mhm.
Yeah, so yeah, she told me
Wow,
about it, and yeah, but she told me
that's crazy.
that yeah, she practice walking in heels in a treadmill. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm not a woman,
that's
so
smart.
I
I mean,
yeah.
yeah. Still try it. See what we have to live with. Just kidding. Yeah. Maybe one day I'll try it. I don't know. I'm just,
Well,
I really gotta work on that. The posing and the walking in heels. It's just like when you don't like something, you just kind of push it off for a little bit longer, and
right.
eventually you're like, dang it, now I gotta practice it, and yeah. Usually I'm in for a rude awakening, so one day I'll
Well, I
start.
mean, yeah, I mean, it takes time. Like, just got to make an effort. Anything you do, you just have to do the best you can. Don't beat yourself up. I mean,
Yep.
Sheila, don't be walking on treadmill in heels.
I feel like as long as I can just get across the stage and I can do my poses, I'm good. I didn't get too much feedback on my walking on stage, so I think it might have been okay. But I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
MP might be a little different. I might really have to watch some videos.
yeah, yeah. This will be coming with some questions, man. When will the training start for your next show?
Like the posing training or just regular training? Because I'm always like working out.
Mm.
Um, and
How long do you
I'm
be
doing like
working
my
on?
well, I've been doing my own workouts for like a few years, and I did mostly running. And I like to do like some, CrossFit style workouts. And then, I started working out last year, I think around with like my coaches last year around June time. So yeah, so I've been actually really weight training since last year in June.
Oh, like
So
what's the hours that you like? Like how many minutes do you work out? That's what I meant.
um, sometimes maybe like an hour to 1.5 hours. But we've added cardio again, this week since I'm cutting. So now it's been adding 20 minutes of cardio on top of, the regular workout. So I work out Monday through Friday.
Turn the incline on level 4 on the treadmill. Hmm.
I don't have a treadmill. I do have an elliptical in my garage gym. When when it's a nice day outside and it's not the weather's not trying to kill us, and I usually run outside. Because I just like being outside.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, all I can say, I best of luck to you. Like,
Thank you.
hopefully you get your pro card soon. When you do compete. But I, 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 I can't tell you. So, but I hope you do well. On the
Awesome.
NPC journey. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll,
So,
I'll let you know how it goes next year.
yeah,
I'll keep
we'll
training.
definitely talk. You
Yeah.
said all the way. Have a good night.
Have a
Yeah,
good night too.
yeah, it was good talking to you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk with you. I know you didn't have much to share with your experience in competing, but
Mhm.
it was a pleasure talking with you.
Yeah, it was awesome. My first interview, so it was
Yeah,
great.
thank you. I'm glad I'm your first,
Awesome.
well, person to talk to.
Yeah. Hey, maybe one day we can do like another interview when I have some more competitions behind me. I'll tell you all about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, no problem. I'm looking forward for that. I appreciate you on that. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, even
All right.
Anthony C liked it. Great interview, Sheila.
Awesome.
All right, folks. Shout out to all the way George Page and Anthony C. Thank you guys for the comments. Really appreciate it. And good night, guys.
All right, thank you for listening. Good night.